Hello out there, cyber friend. This MIDI man coming back at you from Walker's Music, and I just wanted to. I was sitting and I was doing a little soul searching, and as well as I was doing some video searching. I was looking out for some certain things and I came across a couple of videos that really drawed interest to me, and it kind of got me wondering, and I got to thinking about how. how we judge sometimes. We tend to, when we don't understand certain things, we have a tendency to start trying to come up with different opinions, especially if we misunderstand the thing. And I've always been an advocate. I try to give a fair assessment to anything, even if I don't understand it. I try to get some insight on it. And before I really go and pass a judgment on it, I try to look at both spectrums, and from both across the spectrum. I should say it like that. I was thinking, and I was sitting here, and I was wondering, I was pondering, and I was thinking about some of the great musicians that we've had that have gone on. They have gone on out of time into eternity. And one of the ones in particular I was thinking of is our brother Dilly. He was very, very loved by most of the people. I've not known too many people to have so much against him, even though in the latter stages of his life, a lot of people, for whatever reason, they felt the need to try to bring him in the bad light. Was our dearly brother Michael Jackson. And a lot of the stuff that was said about Michael and different ones that he was connected to, in other words, I have no caring one way or the other to even phantom search things, because first of all, number one, MIDI man doesn't know anything about that. But the only thing that I do know is Michael was a very, very outstanding musician. He was surrounded by people that were of great status that he could not help but bring the best out of himself, because he was surrounded by the best. When you start talking about people like Quincy Jones and Bruce Sweden and one of the best, I guess, the famous engineers of all time, just to name just those two alone, and Rod Templeton, the great songwriters and stuff, and all of the greats, and we got all the great musicians. In other words, even back to, if you go back to the time in the 80s when We Are the World came, and some of the lyrics of We Are the World were questionable. I know that, people. But I'm looking at the thing as a whole now. This is MIDI man that's coming straight from the hip. I wanted to come back. I did not have no idea that I was going to come back with this, but I did come back with it, and I came back to. I think that God himself had me. I want to do this video because I've been wanting to say some things about the various musicians and everything, and I'm trying to keep it watching my time. Quincy Jones, in my opinion, one of the greatest men of music of all time. I mean, that's just my opinion. Now, some people gonna say, well, this and that and that. Now, Quincy have always been, in other words, I am a very, 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 very fond of Quincy Jones and his music. The man, if you got anything in you, he could get it out. I just always been a big fan of Quincy ever since I knew anything about his music, when I started following his music. Michael, I watched Michael grow up on TV. I watched Michael grow up, and matter of fact, there's only about maybe 3 years difference between me and Michael's age. Matter of fact, I'm 51, and matter of fact, I'll be 52 this year. Michael's about 3 years older, so that means Michael would have been, his birthday this year would have make him be 55, because I'll be 52. And I saw him grow up on TV, and the singer, the man, the artist. I mean, the boy was great, and you can't take anything away from him. Neither should anyone try it. I'm just looking at we don't understand a thing, and I don't want to make this video very long, but I do want to make myself perfectly clear. You can talk, everybody can speak any kind of negativeness they want to, but you cannot take away from the fact that he did what no other musicians have ever done. No other musician ever done it in the history of music. And so you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, you can't change those facts. You cannot change the facts. And Quincy had a hand in it, as well as Bruce Sweetin when they was making the Thriller. And they said they made Thriller 8 weeks, people. 8 weeks they made Thriller. Thriller went platinum twice. No other artist, nobody, not even Elvis, no one have ever done that. Only Michael. But you got to look at the people that he had surrounding him. So you see, people, if you want to be great, this is what I look at. This is what I look at. Not that Midi Man is trying to say be no superstar or great, but I'm looking at the pattern of great people. Great people always have other great people around them and surrounding them. You got to have, in other words, how can you not be a great musician when you're surrounded by people like Quincy? How can you not have great quality of sound when you're surrounded by people like Bruce Sweetin? That's just the name. You got many other great engineers now. I know we do, and great producers. We got great producers, but I'm just using these two as for my example or for this video, and because we're talking about Michael, and these two people were very close to Michael, especially on the album with Thriller. And I've seen some video takes of what they were, Quincy as well as Bruce was talking about the making of the Thriller. And how that Michael just almost broke down because he was a perfectionist to a degree, and he wanted to keep on doing things and over and over and over. And said, I think Bruce Sweetin said that when Quincy came in, he said, "Wow, I'm just paraphrasing now. What are y'all doing here? Y'all still here?" And he said how Michael had him to do all these takes, and so Quincy said, "I tell you what, play take 2," and that's the one they went with because the man had intuition. He just knew what was what. And so when you got them kind of people around you, those greats, you can't help it. The best have to come out. You can't help it. So that's how Midi Man have patterned himself. I always try to get the best information I can from people that are doing, just like our brother Khalid Glover. I really respect Khalid a lot. Khalid have worked with Michael, and I respect him and his knowledge of audio so much. And I really miss from being along with Khalid in the seminars and everything, but I had to pull away for it was not his fault, but it was just some things that on my part that I had to do, that I had to kind of distance myself. But when you got people like that work with great artists like Michael and Quincy and everything, and you cannot help but glean from their learning, you will got to be stupid to try to go and talk against those people and try to dish them people and say they don't know what they're talking about when they've been surrounded by people like them of that caliber. And I'm not trying to lift people up on no pedestal, but the truth is the truth. Hey, until you get some gold records, until you get some platinum records, until you can prove where Quincy is wrong or Bruce Sweetin or Michael, until you outdo them, I think we need to go somewhere and have a Coke and a smile and shut up. That's just the way I feel about it. I don't know why I did it. I mean, I just had to come back. I was looking, and I'm just looking at how the greats. And if you want to be great, pattern yourself after the great. Do what they do. In other words, take their pattern and follow it. You can't help but get to the golden. You're going to get your golden goose as well. But I know one thing. We would never get anywhere as long as we being jealous and envious of others who are doing something with their talent that God has given them, and they are doing something working toward their goal and are reaching and attaining their goal. As long as we are envious and jealous of that, we will never get anywhere ourselves. I know I can say that, and I'm safe to say that because I know it's to be the truth. So with that being said, this is Midi Man saying peace. Goodbye.